Hello, and welcome to the seventh installment of the Scripture in a Year series hosted by Saints Peter and Paul Orthodox Church, the Albanian Archdiocese of the OCA. Now Abraham again took a wife, and her name was Keturah. So she bore him Zimran, Jokshan, Medan, Midian, Ishbak, and Shua. Jokshan begot Sheba and Dedan. Thus the sons of Dedan were Raguel, Nabdid, and the Ashurim, the Letushim, and the Leumim. And the sons of Midian were Ephah, Epher, Hanok, Abidah, and Eldaah. These were the sons of Keturah. Now Abraham gave all his possessions to Isaac, but Abraham gave gifts to the sons of his concubines. And while he was still living, he sent them eastward, away from Isaac his son, to the country of the east. After these things, the sum of years Abraham lived were 175 years. Then Abraham breathed his last and died in a good old age, old and full of days, and was added to his people. So his sons Isaac and Ishmael buried him in the cave of Machpelah, opposite Mamre, in the field of Ephron, the son of Zohar the Hittite, the field and the cave Abraham purchased from the sons of Heth. There they buried Abraham and Sarah his wife. Thus it came to pass after the death of Abraham that God blessed his son Isaac, and Isaac dwelt at the well of the vision. Now this is the genealogy of Ishmael, Abraham's son, whom Hagar, Sarah's maidservant, bore to Abraham. These were the names of Ishmael's sons by their names according to their families. Ishmael's firstborn, Nebajoth, then Kedar, Adbeel, Mibsam, Mishma, Duma, Massa, Hadar, Tema, Jetur, Naphish, and Kedemah. These were the sons of Ishmael, and these were their names by their towns and settlements, 12 princes according to their nations. These were the years of Ishmael's life, 137 years, and he breathed his last and died, and was added to his people. He dwelt opposite Egypt, from Havilah as far as Shur, as you go toward Assyria, and dwelt separate from all his brothers. Now this is the genealogy of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begot Isaac. Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah as his wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Mesopotamia, and the sister of Laban, the Syrian. Now Isaac pleaded with the Lord for his wife, because she was barren, and God granted his plea, and Rebekah his wife conceived. But the children struggled together within her, and she said, "If all is well, why am I like this?" So she went to inquire of the Lord, and the Lord said to her, "Two nations are in your womb, and two peoples shall be separated from your body. One shall be stronger than the other, and the older shall serve the younger." Thus when her days were fulfilled to give birth, indeed there were twins in her womb. Now the firstborn came out red. He was like a hairy garment all over. So she named him Esau. Afterward his brother came out, and his hand took hold of Esau's heel. So she called his name Jacob. Isaac was 60 years old when Rebekah bore them. So the boys grew. Now Esau was a skillful hunter, a man of the field, but Jacob was a simple man dwelling in tents. Now Isaac loved Esau because he ate his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob. Then Jacob cooked a stew, and Esau came in from the field and was weary. So Esau said to Jacob, "Let me taste this red stew, for I am exhausted." Therefore his name was called Edom. But Jacob said to Esau, "Sell me your birthright today." Esau replied, "Look, I am about to die. What good then is this birthright to me?" Then Jacob said, "Swear to me today." So he swore to him and sold his birthright to Jacob. Now there was a famine in the land, besides the first famine in the days of Abraham, and Isaac went to Abimelech, king of the Philistines, in Gerar. Then the Lord appeared to him and said, "Do not go down to Egypt. Live in the land where I will tell you. Sojourn in this land, and I will be with you and bless you. For to you and your seed I give all these lands, and I will perform the oath I swore to Abraham your father. And I will make your seed multiply as the stars of heaven. I will give your seed all these lands, and in your seed all the nations of the earth shall be blessed. Because Abraham your father obeyed my voice and kept my charge, my commandments, my ordinances, and my laws. So Isaac dwelt in Gerar. Now the men of the place asked about his wife, and he said, She is my sister, for he was afraid to say, She is my wife, lest the men of the place should kill him for Rebekah, because she was beautiful to behold. Now it came to pass, when he had been there a long time, that Abimelech, king of Gerar, looked through a window and saw Isaac, showing endearment to Rebekah his wife. Then Abimelech called Isaac and said, Quite obviously she is your wife, so how could you say she is my sister? Isaac said to him, Because I said to myself, lest I should die on account of her. Thus Abimelech said, Why have you done this to us? One of the people could easily have lain with your wife, and you would have brought guilt on us. So Abimelech charged all his people, saying, He who touches this man or his wife shall surely be put to death. Then Isaac sowed that in that land, and reaped in the same year 100-fold. And the Lord blessed him. The man began to prosper, and continued prospering until he became very prosperous. For he had herds of sheep and oxen and many fields. So the Philistines envied him. Now the Philistines had stopped up all the wells his father's servants had dug in the days of Abraham his father, and they had filled them with earth. Then Abimelech said to Isaac, Go away from us, for you are much mightier than we. Then Isaac departed from there, and pitched his tent in the valley of Gerar, and dwelt there. Again Isaac dug the wells of water they had dug in the days of Abraham his father, for the Philistines had stopped them up after the death of Abraham. He called them by the names his father had called them. Also Isaac's servants dug in the valley of Gerar, and found a well of fresh water there. But the herdsmen of Gerar fought with Isaac's herdsmen, saying, The water is ours. So he called the name of the well Injustice, because they quarreled with him. Then they dug another well, and they quarreled over that one also. So he called its name Enmity. So he moved from there and dug another well, and they did not fight over it. Thus he called its name Room, because he said, Now the Lord has made room for us, and has increased us in the land. Then he went up from there to the well of Oath. Now the Lord appeared to him the same night, and said, I am the God of your father Abraham. Do not fear, for I am with you. I will bless you and multiply your seed, for my servant Abraham's sake. So he built an altar there, and called on the name of the Lord. And he pitched his tent there, and there Isaac's servants dug a well. Then Abimelech came to him from Gerar with Ahuzaeth, his friend, and Phicol, the commander-in-chief of his army. Isaac said to them, Why have you come to me, since you hate me, and have sent me away from you? But they said, We have certainly seen the Lord is with you. So we said, Let there now be an oath between us, between you and us, and let us make a covenant with you, that you will do us no harm, since we have not touched you, and since we have done nothing to you but good, and have sent you away in peace. You are now the blessed of the Lord. So he made them a feast, and they ate and drank. Then they arose early in the morning, and swore an oath with one another, and Isaac sent them away, and they departed from him in peace. It came to pass the same day, Isaac's servants came and told him about the well they dug, and said to him, We have found water. So he called it Oath. Therefore the name of the city is the Well of Oath to this day. Now when Esau was 40 years old, he took his wives, Judith the daughter of Beeri the Hittite, and Basemeth the daughter of Elon the Hittite. But they were contentious with Isaac and Rebekah. Now it came to pass, when Isaac was old, and his eyes were so dim he could not see, that he called Esau his older son, and said to him, My son. And he answered him, Here am I. Then he said, Behold, now I am old. I do not know the day of my death. Now therefore take your weapons, your quiver and your bow, and go out to the field and hunt game for me. Then make me savory food such as I love, and bring it to me that I may eat, that my soul may bless you before I die. Now Rebekah was listening when Isaac spoke to Esau his son, and Esau went to the field to hunt game for his father. So Rebekah spoke to Jacob, her younger son, saying, Indeed, I heard your father speak to Esau, your brother, saying, Bring me game, and make savory food for me, that I may eat it and bless you in the presence of the Lord before my death. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice according to what I command you. Go now to the sheep, and bring me from there 2 kids, choice and good, and I will make savory food from them for your father, such as he loves. Then you shall take it to your father, that he may eat it and bless you before his death. Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, Look, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth-skinned man. Perhaps my father will feel me, and I shall seem to be a deceiver to him, and I shall bring a curse upon myself and not a blessing. But his mother said to him, Your curse be on me, my son, only obey my voice, and go, get them for me. So he went and got them, and brought them to his mother, and his mother made savory food such as his father loved. Then Rebekah took the choice clothes of her elder son Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them on Jacob her younger son. She also put the skins of the kids on his hands and the exposed part of his neck. Then she gave the savory food and the bread she had prepared into the hands of her son Jacob. Thus he went to his father and said, My father. And he said, Here am I. Who are you, my son? Jacob said to his father, I am Esau, your firstborn. I have done just as you told me. Arise, sit and eat of my game, that your soul may bless me. But Isaac said to his son, How is it you have found it so quickly, my son? He said, Because the Lord your God brought it to me. Then Isaac said to Jacob, Come near, that I may feel you, my son, whether you are my son Esau or not. So Jacob went near to Isaac his father, and he felt him and said, The voice is Jacob's, but the hands are Esau's. Thus he did not recognize him, because his hands were hairy like his brother Esau's hands. So he blessed him. Then he said, Are you my son Esau? He said, I am. He said, Bring your game to me, my son, and I will eat from it, that my soul may bless you. So he brought it near to him, and he ate, and he brought him wine, and he drank. Then his father Isaac said to him, Come near and kiss me, my son. So he came near and kissed him, and he smelled the smell of his clothing. Then he blessed him and said, Surely the smell of my son is like the smell of a field the Lord has blessed. Therefore may God give you of the dew of heaven, and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of grain and wine. Let people serve you, and nations bow down to you. Be Lord over your brethren, and let your mother's sons bow down to you. And cursed be everyone who curses you, and blessed be those who bless you. Now it happened, as soon as Isaac finished blessing Jacob his son, and Jacob had scarcely gone out of the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting. He also had made savory food, and brought it to his father, and said to his father, Let my father arise and eat of his son's game, that your soul may bless me. And his father Isaac said to him, Who are you? So he said, I am your son, your firstborn Esau. Then Isaac trembled exceedingly, and said, Who? Where is the one who hunted game and brought it to me? I ate all of it before you came, and I have blessed him, and indeed he shall be blessed. When Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with an exceedingly great and bitter cry, and said to his father, Bless me also, O my father. But he said, Your brother came with deceit, and has taken away your blessing. Then Esau said, Is he not rightly named Jacob? For he supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and now look, he has taken away my blessing. So he said, Have you not reserved a blessing for me? Then Isaac answered and said to Esau, Indeed, I have made him your lord, and all his brethren I have given to him as servants. With grain and wine I have sustained him. What shall I do now for you, my son? Esau said to his father, Have you only one blessing, my father? Bless me also, O my father. But when Isaac was troubled, Esau lifted up his voice and wept. Then Isaac his father answered and said to him, Behold, your dwelling shall be of the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. By your sword you shall live, and you shall serve your brother. And it shall come to pass, when you become restless, that you shall break his yoke from your neck. Thus Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing with which his father had blessed him. And Esau said in his mind, Let the days of mourning for my father draw near, then I will kill my brother Jacob." So the words of Esau, her older son, were told to Rebekah, and she sent and called Jacob, her younger son, and said to him, "Surely your brother Esau is threatening to kill you. Now, therefore, my son, obey my voice. Arise, flee to Mesopotamia to my brother Laban in Haran, and stay with him a few days until your brother's anger and wrath turn away from you, and he forgets what you did to him. Then I will send and bring you from there. Why should I be bereaved also of you both in one day?" Then Rebekah said to Isaac, "I am weary of my life because of the daughters of Heth. If Jacob takes a wife from the daughters of this land, what good will my life be?" Now Isaac called Jacob and blessed him and charged him, saying, "You shall not take a wife from the daughters of Canaan. Arise, go to Mesopotamia to the house of Bethuel, your mother's father, and take yourself a wife from there of the daughters of Laban, your mother's brother. May God bless you and increase and multiply you, that you may be an assembly of nations, and give you the blessing of Abraham, to you and your seed with you, that you may inherit the land of your sojourning, which God gave to Abraham." So Isaac sent Jacob away, and he went to Mesopotamia, to Laban the son of Bethuel the Syrian, the brother of Rebekah, the mother of Jacob and Esau. Now Esau saw that Isaac had blessed Jacob and sent him away to Mesopotamia to take himself a wife from there. And as he blessed him, he gave him a charge, saying, "You shall not take a wife from the daughters of Canaan." And Jacob had obeyed his father and mother, and had gone to Mesopotamia. Also Esau saw that the daughters of Canaan did not please his father Isaac. So Esau went to Ishmael and took Mahalath, the daughter of Ishmael, Abraham's son, the sister of Nebajoth, to be his wife in addition to the wives he had. Now Jacob went out from the well of Oath and went toward Haran. So he came to a certain place and stayed there all night, because the sun had set. Then he took one of the stones of that place and put it at his head, and he lay down in that place to sleep. Then he dreamed, and behold, a ladder was set up on earth, and its top reached to heaven, and there the angels of God were ascending and descending on it. So behold, the Lord stood above it, and said, "I am the Lord God of Abraham your father, and the God of Isaac. Do not fear, the land on which you lie I will give to you and your seed. Also your seed shall be as the dust of the earth. You shall spread abroad to the west and to the east, to the north and the south. And in you and your seed all the tribes of the earth will be blessed. Behold, I am with you and will keep you wherever you go, and will bring you back to this land, for I will not leave you until I have done what I have spoken to you." Then Jacob awoke from his sleep and said, "The Lord is in this place, and I did not know it." So he was afraid and said, "How awesome is this place! This is none other than the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven." Now Jacob arose early in the morning and took the stone he put at his head, set it up as a pillar, and poured oil on top of it. Thus Jacob called the name of that place Bethel, but the name of that city was Luz previously. Then Jacob made a vow, saying, "If the Lord God will be with me and keep me in this way I am going, and give me bread to eat and clothing to put on, and bring me back in safety to my father's house, then the Lord shall be my God. And this stone I set as a pillar shall be God's house to me, and of all you give me I will surely give a tithe to you."